Good morning. Thanks for joining us on AccuWeather Early. I'm Melissa Constanzer.
And I'm Anna Azallion. It's Friday, October 18th.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover for you this morning, and I feel like we're getting into that point where it's the spooky season.
It is.
Right? So you kind of want that cool, crisp feeling in there. We've gotten that this week, but we're going to reverse it for the weekend in the eastern U.S.
Which, you know, this time of year, personally, I'll take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people happy, some people may be upset. It's the flip-flop of fall, so to speak.
Yes.
Well, let's take you through the look across the country here, and as we take a look across the nation, like I said, the eastern U.S., sunshine out there, that's going to turn the pages for us.
Yes, very different story out west, though. We're seeing rain and even snow in the highest elevations.
Yeah, we've already picked up in the Bitterroot. Some places picking up 1-2 inch snow reports. I saw a couple of them coming in this morning.
So we are still keeping an eye on the tropics. Hurricane season is not over, but not necessarily seeing anything that's going to impact Florida right now. Great
news. You're talking about Tampa, the dry place for the week. If there's any place in the nation that we actually don't want the rain, it's Tampa.
It's there, yeah.
So this is some great news to see. And the good news is these tropical rainstorms here across the Caribbean are not going to be impacting the Sunshine State at all. But we will watch it impact some areas of the U.S. Puerto Rico could pick up a little bit of rain from this tropical rainstorm as it skirts its way by to the north, largely north of the island there. Meanwhile, as you work your way towards the Caribbean, lots of activity here, plenty of showers and thunderstorms, so you can see all of that moisture building. Let's start on this northern storm, northeastern storm system in the Atlantic as it cuts by the Caribbean. It will have the ability to strengthen into a tropical storm over the upcoming hours, likely tonight into tomorrow. Provided it does, it will get a name at some point, and it's just a question of which gets the name first, this storm or the other one in the Caribbean. But ultimately, you can see it's skirting right by the northern side of Hispaniola, and it's going to be on the low. 4 inches of rain can create some problems, especially when you're talking about mountains on the island of Hispaniola of more than 9,000 feet. So this is a lot of terrain there. The other tropical rainstorm is in the Caribbean. It's going to push its way towards Belize. It becomes a tropical storm pretty much right as it's trying to make that landfall. It doesn't have a very big window to do it. Wind gusts, nothing too unusual here. And Cozumel, one of those islands that, you know, a lot of Americans try to get to and do some tourist activities. I think they'll be okay because they'll be kind of on the cusp of that 40-mile-per-hour winds. But you'll note more will be the rain. Even Cancun gets about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Belize here, near where it makes landfall, and parts of southern Mexico will pick up 4 to 8 inches of rainfall. And by the way, that's not the only stretch. It goes across the Bay of Campeche, probably puts a little bit more moisture into southern Mexico, so we can squeeze out another 4+ inches of rain there as well. If we're wondering why nothing ventures north towards the U.S., setbacks in a few spots here as we talk about things, mostly through the western U.S. Denver, we talked about some of those afternoon thunderstorms in a couple of locations, so that'll pick up later on in the day. East, welcome back to AccuWeather Early, and thanks for watching on this Friday morning as we get you through and out the door. We want to first take a moment to take a little wander across the pond.
Across the west, we are seeing some precipitation. We're seeing rain and even snow, mainly in our highest elevations. They're getting even a couple feet of snow there. So anyone looking forward to ski season, it's coming up. We're getting towards that point. Now, along with this system, we are seeing wind. And for California, that is creating an elevated fire risk. And California is an area where you're already seeing fires on this map. It's only showing fires that are greater than 100 acres. So definitely wind is not what we want to see in California for today with these current fires and any new fires that could be sparked. So a lot of the state under that red flag warning, definitely something to be aware of if that is where you are waking up this morning. Along with this system, we are not just seeing the wind and the rain and even snow. We're seeing a pretty dramatic cool down across temperatures in the 70s. That is where we are seeing the risk of even some severe thunderstorms later today. Looking at damaging wind gusts, possible hail, and even can't rule out an isolated tornado. So definitely something to keep an eye on there throughout the day. Now, as far as what to expect as we head into Saturday, really more of the same story. Still looking at that severe weather risk for New Mexico, seeing that cold front pushing through, leaving behind much cooler temperatures across.
And thanks for joining us on AccuWeather Early. I'm Melissa Constanzer.
And I'm Anna Azallion. It's Friday, October 18th. Here's what we're covering for you.
Well, happy Friday. That sunny shot of Philadelphia just makes me want to get out and explore all weekend long.
We're heading into the weekend and it's looking good in the Northeast.
Yeah, really great. So if you like the sunshine, keep the sunglasses. Also, this time of year, I know it's getting really late, but if you're going to be out for hours on end, please wear the sunscreen. I feel like every football game, people get sunburned, and it's like, come on, you still got to wear that. Big area of high pressure here. We've kicked that coastal low out to sea for the East Coast, but farther west, different story.
Much different story. Even seeing snow in our highest elevations. Ski season, it's on the way.
It is, and rapidly coming in, and we've actually picked up, at least in the Bitterroots, some towns, 4 or 5 inches of snowfall, so exciting stuff there. We begin our top story with some of the recovery efforts continuing after back-to-back hurricanes.
For Florida right now, we are still watching the tropics because hurricane season is not quite over.
Still got till November 30th, and even after that, let's face it, not necessarily an automatic shutoff. Mother Nature doesn't play by those rules, unfortunately. But what we do know is there's more names on the list, too, so we certainly could see a few more fall. We hope not, but we still got Nadine, Oscar, Patty. The list goes right to William here. As we talk about things, though, in the Atlantic, we're keeping an eye on 2 areas. So one of them is in the Atlantic Ocean off the Caribbean islands. The other is in the Caribbean, underneath that big high-pressure system to the north. As AccuWeather's Bernie Rayner would say, under the belly of the high. Here we are, we find this activity. So we've got those tropical rainstorms, each of them designated showers and thunderstorms at this point in time. There's no definition of a circulation, so we can't necessarily give it any sort of name just yet. But should that occur, we will be talking about some names. What we do think is that each of them will become a tropical storm, if at least only briefly here. Let's talk about this first one, which is going to have the most impact for the U.S. And by U.S., I mean Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, because as this skirts its way by to the north, it will have at least a few showers for Puerto Rico. But you can see it becomes a tropical storm as we head through tonight, potentially, or early tomorrow. And as it swings its way just to the north, that's where there's not a lot of shear, so it is likely to develop into a tropical storm. But even that is going to be just on the minimum threshold for what we see as far as tropical storm is concerned. All in all, not a ton of wind with and southern Mexico. And because of this, it is very close to land, doesn't have a lot of time to form, but it likely tries to ramp up real quickly here. So we're going to see that spin up probably occur as we go through tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. Tropical storm, so this one will likely also take some sort of name, and it's just a matter of which one forms first, and if they both form as to which names will be used. But you can see that pushing in to Belize. And with that landfall in Belize, we will have some strong winds there, but we'll largely be talking about the rain. Those winds could go as far north as Cozumel. Travel and show you some of our green light cities because there's a lot of them out there. And actually, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. San Francisco, Richmond, a better day